movie guys, less two. Craig from the Sawmill Theater's in with us this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I know Andy and Tina both had other things going on this morning and can't be with us, but we do have quite a bit going on at the Sawmill Theater right now.
Yeah, sure. The holidays are a busy time for movies.
Right. Okay.
So,
and you got new stuff coming in today?
We've got actually 2 movies coming in today, and then we'll have 3 movies coming in Wednesday of next week.
Oh, wow. Just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah. Well, with that holiday, they release on Wednesday instead of Friday.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of new stuff coming in.
Right.
Also, we are going to be open all week.
Nice.
We've been closed Tuesday, Wednesday, but this for the holiday we'll be open 7 days a week.
People out of school and all of that.
Yeah.
It's something fun to do. Go down
Yes.
and catch a movie at the theater.
Yeah.
All right. So what new movies are starting today?
Well, 2 big ones today, actually. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Who are you going to call?
Who you gonna call?
That's right. And this is the 3rd remake? Or the 3rd edition?
Is it fourth?
Is it 4th?
Fourth, yes.
Time flies when you're busting ghosts.
Busting Ghosts. And this one is supposed to be really good.
Really?
Great reviews on this one. Everyone's liked it.
Well, and the technology, special effects technology has really progressed a lot since the first one.
Moving all that stuff.
And the first one was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh sure. And then a lot of homage to the old ones here. We've got Dan Aykroyd's in it. Bill Murray's in it.
Very cool.
So some of the old people are coming back on this one, and yeah, like I said, everyone that I've talked to that has seen it really enjoyed it.
When did the first one come out?
83
I was going to say, I thought it was back in the
84.
80s, something like that. It's like, so Aykroyd and them, they're in wheelchairs now, or?
But pretty much. Yeah.
I think the one thing I really liked about it is the special effects were really cool, and it was kind of an interesting mix between a gut-busting comedy and some actual, kind of sci-fi, not really horror movie, but I mean,
Right.
scary stuff kind
Right.
of, and it was a great mix.
Yes. Yeah. And that's this one. It's a PG-13, so it's not going to be. If you want to be bringing your 5-year-old
It's kind of
kids to it.
like Dracula on tequila, or something like that. Anyway, so that's one of the new ones coming.
That's one of them. The other one we got is King Richard.
Oh,
That's Will Smith.
yeah,
This is the story of Venus and Serena Williams.
right.
How
And-
he raised them.
And I saw the trailer to that, and you might think that with a lot of these stories of these people that have achieved, especially at very early ages, amazing accomplishments. They had, well, it's in a different sort of vein. You talk about like Britney Spears, and I mean her dad was pushing her, but not really necessarily in positive ways. But
Right.
and so you kind of almost would think that King Richard might be the same sort of thing, but boy, it sounds like they had nothing but success.
Yeah, no, not like the Jacksons.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think Serena and her sister. I don't remember ever hearing them say a negative thing about their dad.
No. From the trailers, it looks like they were. He was a very caring father.
Right.
Definitely was pushing them.
Mhm.
He had it said he had a 58-page document before they were born on charting out their lives. On how he was
58 pages
58
before they were born.
Before they were born, yeah.
It's always good to have a plan.
Yeah, well, that was yes.
Plan your work your plan. It's like whatever's right.
Yeah, no, and that was his, to keep these kids off the street and to give them a good life and
Right.
and push them in the right direction.
Well, I don't know how they would have gone any further than they did, and and they're still around. I mean, they're
Yes.
still doing good things.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, definitely a success story.
Right.
So,
Gotta love it. All right, and now what time does that King Richard? What time does that play?
King Richard is 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock.
And the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15.
Cool.
And now the other one too. Like I said, definitely be watching your show times on this. We've got those 3 movies coming out next Wednesday, so our show times are going to change on Tuesday,
Oh, okay.
and I don't have those set up yet. So definitely kind of watch the paper, watch our website for those
Okay.
times.
Well, we'll dive back into that in a second. What are the other movies that are still around this week that if people were hoping that they could get in to see
Yeah.
before they left?
Well, yeah, it's going to be leaving here Tuesday is Dune.
Oh, Dune.
Which-
Oh man, I want to get in. I'm gonna have to get up off my duff and actually come do that.
Stop.
It'll happen one of these days.
It's not going to happen.
I'm so busy.
No,
The sun was in my eyes. I tripped over a rock and I didn't have my Wheaties.
Yes.
Anyway, that doesn't work. Oh well. And Dune has done really well though, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, great sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's you still have a chance over the weekend and on Monday to see it, but that leaves on Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday will be the last day.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah, you can see it on Tuesday too. Then.
Okay.
And then James Bond.
Oh yeah.
No Time to Die.
And that's been doing well locally.
Oh, it did great.
Yeah.
Locally.
Did Dune do well locally? Dune do.
It did. Yeah. It really did do pretty well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
And No Time to Die, I believe, is a number 2 movie in the world this year.
Wow.
So it did, I think it's up around $700 million.
Wow. What was the number one? Do you remember?
Chinese film.
Chinese film. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a huge market there.
Oh man, there's a whole bunch of people over there.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And one more movie rounding out the slate for today.
Let's see, what do we still have? Eternals.
Oh yeah, that should. Now this is what, the second or third week on that.
Third week on this one. Yeah.
How's that been doing?
Another one's done great.
Right.
Yeah.
The Marvel stuff is still marvelous.
Yeah. Despite some kind of underwhelming reviews on this one, still doing solid money.
Now sometimes those movie critics, they can really get out of hand.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Right.
These are the big visual films that kind of sweep you away, and you can forget about all the other things that are going on.
I like that. Transport me this, just completely away from reality, and let me just get immersed in a little mental vacation for a while, and give me some good visuals, and I'm a happy guy.
That one's Dune.
Yeah,
really.
really?
That was really awesome.
I gotta figure out how to get in there before Wednesday. All right, so now starting next week, though, you have 3 new ones starting on Wednesday.
3, yes.
And just in time for Thanksgiving.
Right. We've got, I don't know if it's going to be the big one this holiday, House of Gucci.
Oh, I've seen the preview for that.
Yeah. Great, Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, great cast in this one, and about the Gucci family.
So is it supposed to be based,
Yes.
in fact, for the most part?
Yes, yeah. Kind of
Interesting.
not a documentary for sure, but just on there.
It's kind of an aggressive world.
Yes, yeah. Basically, that was kind of the someone marries into the family and decides to kind of have their own little agenda.
Gucci.
Yeah, and it just starts a whole spiral of lies and decadence, and ends up with murder.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
But hey, other than that.
Yes, yeah. Supposed to be a good one.
Sounds interesting though. So we find out a little bit more about the Gucci folks on that one. What else?
Let's see. We've got a Disney one coming up. Kids. Encanto.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's,
now, is this an animated?
Yeah, animated film.
Cool.
We got a lot of cool stuff going on with that. It's basically a Colombian girl, and her family all has magic powers, except for her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
She's got to find her magic power.
Yeah. So it's kind of a.
Well, sounds like there's going to be a moral to the story in there somewhere.
Journey of discovery.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
We all need to go through those. And that's and who did this? This is Disney.
This is Disney film, yeah.
So I mean, they don't do anything schlocky.
No, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
And we are going to do this one. We're trying something new here. On Saturday mornings, starting next Saturday, so November 27th, I believe. We're going to do a Spanish version of Encanto. And we're going to do that 10:30 in the morning on Saturday.
Huh.
And we'll do that for 3 weeks, November 27th, December 4th, and December 11th.
Oh, okay.
We'll do it in Spanish.
So some of the folks that Espanol is their primary language, this will be a perfect opportunity for them to get out and enjoy a good movie.
Exactly. Well, we'll see if people want to come out and see that.
Okay.
So we're going to give it a shot.
That's kind of an interesting thought on a number of different levels there. That'll be fun to find out more about it.
We'll see how the community responds to that.
Right. Well, and it's another, aside from all of that, whether it's in English or Spanish, it's another great alternative if you're looking to maybe take the young kids out for a movie and you want to have some time together. This sounds like it'll be a great one with a good moral to the story and all of that.
Yes. Disney's always pretty good on that stuff. Yeah. Especially their animated things are pretty solid.
Yeah. And then what's the third one coming out on Wednesday?
Completely different. Raccoon City. So Resident Evil film.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing this isn't animated.
Yeah, no. This one's actually going back to, if you're probably not familiar with Resident Evil, but it's a evil corporation that creates a mutation that turns people into zombies.
Okay.
More or less.
Gosh, I feel suddenly bad that we don't have Andy here.
Zombies. Mia Jovovich is not in this one. which that's his,
That's his zombie of choice.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but this one kind of goes back. It's sort of a prequel to the other ones.
Right.
It's been an incredible series, really. I mean, for based on a video game.
Right.
This is, I think, the sixth one, though.
This whole prequel thing and everything seems to be being done more and more. And I initially would have never imagined that could even work. I think maybe Star Wars kind of started paving the road there, but it makes sense. I mean, especially if you come to the end of a maybe a couple of iterations of a story, and maybe the lead people die off, and it was a big smash, and people didn't want him to die off. Then what the heck? Let's do a prequel.
A prequel.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. But I initially, in hearing that, I wouldn't have guessed it would work. But obviously, I've been proven wrong many times.
Well, Disney did it with Black Widow.
Yeah.
They killed her off in the Infinity War movies, and then came back and did a prequel to her, earlier
But wait,
life.
there's more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, they'll do that. And we've talked about that a little bit. With sometimes it's hard to break out with an original film.
Right.
People always talk about Hollywood doing repetitious stuff like that. We said Last Night in Soho that no one really liked it, saw it, but just not that many people saw it. And it was an original, something new, and people just didn't really go there.
Huh.
If you're doing these prequels, it kind of comes with built-in marketing.
Right.
So
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
you've got that you've got that advantage of familiarity.
Mm-hmm. That works. So as far as finishing out this year, as we're starting to get going into the holidays and everything, and looking back, it's been a year and a half or so that the whole pandemic thing was really affecting the movie biz.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like, it feels like, it appears like we're actually finally getting moving out of that.
Well, well, first Hollywood's starting to give us movies again.
Right.
Hollywood really kind of definitely kind of tucked their head in the shell when this stuff started, and
Right.
They held back a lot of movies. We're still seeing movies that were supposed to come out in 2020 that haven't come out yet.
Right.
The big one there's Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
The new Top Gun was actually supposed to open today, and they pushed that all the way back into May of next year.
Well, I saw a string of trailers for that where there was like 4, 5, 6 different trailers that just online played one after another, and I have to say that looks like it's gonna be a pretty interesting movie.
It's what yeah. When we were we went to Vegas for a movie convention thing here a while back, and they played the first 15 minutes of it for us. It's gonna rock.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
The Top Gun itself was just an amazing movie. I mean, I thought the way they put it together was interesting. But the thing that I'm really intrigued with was I know they were talking about how they actually put these actors up in these planes and put them through significant G-force to get the visual effects on their facial features or distortions, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it looked like about as close to actually being there as you could possibly
Sure.
get.
Well, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's how do you feel about Tom Cruise? The guy's an adrenaline junkie, and as far as an actor doing stunts, I don't think anyone in Hollywood ever has done what he's done.
Well, in that last, what was the last Mission Impossible thing? Or was it the one before that where he's basically, looks like he's hanging onto the side of a plane that's taking off and going through the air? I mean,
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You gotta have there's a huevos grande factor there.
When somebody's up on these skyscrapers in Dubai, where
Right.
200-300 feet off the ground, and they've got this online too if you want to watch it. This new Mission Impossible, where he's base jumping off of a motorcycle, where there's it's like
I think I saw
it's
this.
like a 100-200 foot cliff, and they build another ramp, motorcycle ramp that's another 50 foot off of that, and Tom Cruise goes down this ramp on the motorcycle, jumps out into space,
Tosses out the
drops the motorcycle, falls like 200 feet, and then pulls a parachute and drifts in. And he did it.
You'd have to be a bit of an adrenaline junkie to even say, yeah, I'll try that.
Well, exactly. And he didn't do it once. he wasn't sure about the take, so they did it 5 times.
Well, just to be
It
sure.
just, yeah. Oh, just and like I said, watch it. It's incredible, and what they went through with it, and the whole stunt. I think they spent 6 months, just getting him used to jumping the motorcycle and the parachuting and a lot of a lot of training going into just that one stunt.
Man, I've heard different reports that he's a very demanding person to work around, but the bottom line is when you look at the finished products that he keeps putting out, I mean,
sure.
it's really well done.
Sure. Well, and like I said, we look at Hollywood and we see that sometimes these people kind of seem to be jerks, but they a good example with Tom Cruise. We had this whole thing with the COVID where he got so angry with the cast because they were breaking protocols. Well, the other part of that was he went and he rented a whole hotel for the cast to keep them isolated. Out of his own money, he was doing this to keep everyone, and then they broke those protocols. So, he's doing. He's doing good things here.
He's got his focus on the big picture.
Yes.
And I mean, and he's got a lot of success behind him. So I would think that if you want to play in that arena, you probably ought to listen.
Well, yeah. Well, like you said, he's putting out his own money to do this, and then people are not paying attention. So
right. Makes sense. I'm anxious now. How far off have they pushed that now?
I believe it's May.
Oh, not until May.
For topping in the Mission Impossible's. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if that's August or they push it back into the next holiday.
Right. Wow. Still, they well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, they typically seem to know what they're doing. This whole COVID thing was definitely a weird twist as far as how they would release things, and I know they were toying more and more. It seemed like for a while there of just doing in the theater and online simultaneously, which I would think that would probably not make theater owners terribly happy. But it almost seems like they're moving back towards whatever normal used to be.
Well, by next year, by next year we're going to be pretty close to that. Disney's backed off of the streaming quite a bit.
Good.
Warner Brothers is still streaming through this year, but going into next year they're going to pull back on that too.
Right.
So we'll at least have a 45-day window between when a movie comes out in theaters before they start streaming or hitting it on DVD.
Now, we're going to be running low on time here shortly. As we go past Thanksgiving and look towards Christmas, are there some other big blockbuster movies expected?
Sure.
I mean, I know that's a rhetorical question. I'm sure there is. But what do we look forward to during the holidays?
Well, we got, this one will be interesting. December 10th is West Side Story.
Oh.
That's Steven Spielberg doing a remake of West Side Story.
That I just hearing that, I'm a little torn in that West Side Story was really well done. It was a very iconic thing, and it's like sometimes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then, if you have Steven Spielberg doing it, now I'm intrigued.
Well, yes, Spielberg is.
I don't think has he had any bloopers out there. I mean,
there's been a couple, I guess, that were a little questionable.
Really?
But we just did our patriotic film was Saving Private Ryan,
right?
Which, wow! I mean, if you haven't seen that lately, go back and watch it again. It's
an amazing movie.
It's incredible in the end. If you look at it, especially from that directing, just how he, that opening beach scene was. How you would put that together even is just incredible.
Well, and the way they also, I mean, I've seen that 4 or 5 times. I love that movie, but the way they also give some of the initially right after a large explosion when all of a sudden he's kind of deaf for just a little bit and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of realism to what they're able to show, and I mean, I thought they did a really good job of trying to make that as realistic as possible.
There've been a lot of great directors, but in my opinion, Spielberg has been the greatest director of all time.
And he's been at it now for since the 70s.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got to be coming close to the end of career soon, I would think. But
Jaws was 1976.
Yeah, and then Star Wars was 77.
Yeah.
So
it's those and Indiana Jones.
Yeah. And those are the Indiana Jones movies too were ones that I saw every one of those and I loved every one of them. I just thought that was I don't know, it was it was just a great little adventure to go on.
And Spielberg was skipped quite a bit, I think, on Best Director.
Yeah.
There were many years there where he clearly made the most entertaining film of the year and got really no credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he made a lot of money. But
Well, that's entertaining. I hear you.
then we're going into also a new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
Marvel, that'll be another big one. And of course, these Marvel films now are laid out as a story. It's a series. I mean, and kind of each one plays on the other ones.
Well, if Spider-Man's going far from home, do we know where he's going?
Yeah. Didn't he keep this home thing? Oh, is it Coming Home, Far From Home, and I don't know where but home.
My girlfriend's home. Anyway, interesting though. I mean, and so I mean, there's a lot of great movies as we look forward to the holidays here, and there's nothing as fun, in my opinion, as just taking a break away from reality, going and sitting down in front of the big screen with the great sound system, and just losing yourself in a little trip to another place and time.
Well, big one for that. The Matrix.
Ooh.
We've got a fourth Matrix film coming up here just before Christmas.
Ooh.
That's with Keanu Reeves.
Just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I had December 19th, 20th, somewhere right in there.
Wow. And those Matrix movies. Now, who directed those?
That's the Wachowskis.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I was very impressed. I mean, especially that very first one. Kind of a tough concept to get across to people, and they did a very believable job, I thought, of I mean, as believable as plugging people into the Matrix is. But I mean, I thought they did a good job of making that all very plausible.
One of the most iconic films ever.
Yeah.
Some of those, that scene with Keanu Reeves where he's dodging the bullets, kind of in slow motion.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that was...
And the bad guy, I mean, just really... I mean, I don't know of anyone that could have gone to that movie and not wanted to just rip that guy's head off. I mean, just a really annoying dude.
It's a great series, and this one looks. He said all the originals are coming back.
Okay, so
Keanu Reeves is in this,
and the bad guy as well. Whatever his name was.
Was it Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah.
That was another really just. They did a lot of. And there was some subtle things where someone's just looking over the top of their glasses for a second, or I mean, just a lot of little cues in there that I thought were really brilliantly done.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those movies. If you go back and look at it, kind of esoterically, there was a lot of kind of weird little stuff they were doing in there too.
Right. Yeah.
That's always when a director or writer is able to kind of add some of that little subtle stuff into the film.
Yeah. Keeps it fun.
Yeah, well, usually. Some of those that go too far and it just makes it dumb. But
well, yeah. But enough about the 6 o'clock news. Yeah. At any rate, the bottom line is there's a whole bunch of good stuff for you to maybe take the kids or take your date or heck, just take yourself over to the Sawmill Theaters and check out a bunch of great movies as we move into the holidays this next week. Gosh, it's getting a little colder. It's time to move inside where it's warm and enjoy a good movie.
Yeah. Come watch Dune and No Time to Die before they're gone.
Right, and that again, they're just here through Tuesday.
Yes.
So I've got my work cut out for me. I've got a rather big weekend, but I'm going to see if, believe it or not, I'm going to surprise you. You'll drop your Coke right there on the floor in the middle of the theater.
I will be surprised.
Sounds good. Hey, you can always find out what's playing and when it's playing by just going online to sawmilltheaters.net. And, of course, tune in every Friday morning here for your hometown movie guys on KRIM's Community Spotlight as we talk about what's playing at the theater and ever so much more.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going to get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from the Cars, Canned Heat, Fleetwood Mac, the Blackbirds, and more. But first, a quick look at Rim Country weather.
Now with this morning.